We're going to have to call a spade here. With 2 games under his belt, Saquon Barkley has not looked like the superstar he once has been. Part of that is usage. Part of that is just bad game script and what's around him. But all in all, Saquon Barkley has not produced for us in fantasy football whatsoever. So it's time to grind the tape from Thursday night's game against the Washington football team to see what we can see from Saquon. The first thing we're going to look at is the big run. The run that looked like he was going to be back, that he's busting out these big plays. 7-0 Giants at this point. We're in the first quarter, 5:52 left. We're going to run this play. So Saquon gets the ball, approach the line of scrimmage. Offensive line does a good job here. They got this crease here sealed. So all he has to do is run through that hole. That's a pretty good size hole to run through. Pretty good size. And runs through that. Gets in the open field. Let's see some of the bursts in the open field. So runs through some defenders. He's just tough to catch, man. Barkley's got some speed. I wouldn't say this was an amazing play. I mean, this was good blocking by the offensive line. The fact that he made a good read on his approach to the line of scrimmage here to find the hole. I mean, that could have been messed up. Let's not take it for granted. Got open space in front of him, and he has the athleticism. Not all running backs has Saquon Barkley-esque athleticism. Not all guys are able to pull away like this. So for him to be able to get past the defense, get this big of a gain, is truly good. It's a good feature in his games. Why we like Saquon. And overall, it's a really good play. Big game. Got everyone excited. Got me excited. Probably got you excited. But Saquon, this is what we're used to seeing from him. Plays like this off and on throughout the game. My favorite feature about Saquon and how he helps us in fantasy football is his ability to catch the ball in the backfield. One of the best pass-catching backs out there, especially when you combine his ability with his size, adjusted athleticism. We're going to see that on this play. It's not a world-beater play. It's not like the greatest thing ever. But the ability of him slipping out there and then underneath with space around him to catch the ball, uses athleticism to earn the target. Doesn't really get much after the catch. But the fact that he gets used in this manner is what we like about Saquon, is him running routes either in the flat or maybe a little wheel route or whatever, pulling out of the backfield, catching the ball, is what we like about him. He was, third in the league during his rookie season in yards after the catch. He's up there with like George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey. So we haven't seen much of that one. He was hurt all last year. The year prior to that, he was banged up during a large portion of the season. And the game scripts have been very fluky for him right here in the first 2 weeks. But watching this play, look at his hands here. Catches the ball out in front of him. Turns upfield quick. And he's not going to get away from that. If anything, he gets a little he got a little hesitant. A little bit right there instead of just trying to run through. Kind of backs up. Maybe he could have just ran through it. Fell forward a little bit. But all in all, he's just trying to make something happen. Nothing big there. But I do like his chops in the passing game. Here's another run I want to go over with you guys. You kind of see his fluidness and his movement. And you see him weave in and out of trash here in this play. It doesn't go for a long game. But he does make something happen here. Just not a lot. So he gets the handoff here. Good block here by 80 to open up this space. He sees this space and he's going to take advantage of that. So there's a little crease up here in the middle, and he's going to do a little jab step here, set up the defender in the block, and then be able to hit that crease. And then he gets to the crease and is like, oh no, there's hats here. So what's he going to do? And he's going to try and make a move to get outside to run the circle, but there's too much trash to run the circle. And they're going to get a hold of him and take him down. But not all running backs can do this. Some running backs may not have been able to make it all the way up to the middle of the field. But this is pretty much a gimme from this point. But here's where the trouble could have happened. Some guys, you'll see some guys run straight into the traffic. They want to bulldoze. Other guys get a little dance happy because there is a decision you got to make. You got to figure out where you want to go with the football. Here, he makes a smart move with the jab step. His momentum's already that way. Hits that jab step, finds the crease, and oh no. Tries the circle out, which is the smart move in this situation. Remember what we were talking about, circling out. When you hit the second level, everyone's going to funnel to you, so you want to circle out away from that funnel. And that is a funnel right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 guys right there funneling towards him. So he's trying to circle out to get to him. It just didn't work in that situation. Just too much trash in the middle of the field, too many bodies. Another option he could have did, and let's see what his eyes was at coming up here. He's looking straight. I don't know if he was able to survey the other side of the field on his peripherals, but knowing his athleticism, he might have been able to make something happen if he kicked it out. He just has 25 here. We don't know what this block would have ended up looking like. 25 does have the leverage on the outside. So, all in all, he could have made something happen there. But, again, that's risky because 25's got the leverage there. So, that's probably the smart move to kick it up. But when you're Saquon and you use your athleticism on a lot of plays, maybe he could have tried that one out there to see if he could run past the dude. But going straight up, taking the conservative route here when you know you have a little bit of hole to get something out of kind of nothing. Almost busted that through. He almost got through. He almost got through there. That could have been a big gain if that would have happened. That would have been a highlight reel play. It's a game of inches. It's not always sunshine and rainbows. Let's look at some of the not so good stuff. Barkley likes to use his athleticism to make plays, and obviously if you're a hyper athlete, if you're a super athlete, you're gonna do that. That's obvious. It's just sometimes you just gotta tuck your head down, go forward, move the pile, take what's given to you instead of trying to make something out of nothing. Slow down, be patient, wait for the things to open up. Here on this play, he takes the handoff. You see the crease open up here, but this dude's just plugging the hole here, and Barkley sees it, plants his feet, and he's like, well, I got to move laterally to get out. Kind of gets freaked out by that. While he's moving laterally, a hole's starting to open up. If he was a little more patient, instead of jump cutting out this far, he could have cut it up right up in that crease, instead of jumping into the leverage of the defender here. Again, if he could have took that carry up to the inside ash crack of 76, maybe he could have got a little bit more there. I'm not saying he could have scored. I'm not saying he could have had a big gain. I'm saying he could have moved forward at least a little bit more. That jump cut there was just a little too much. Right there. Just a little more patience. Instead of jump cutting, which you're probably already there anyway, so his momentum, because he was approaching the hole, he thought he had it here, but things closed up quick. He had to make something happen. Jump cut, just a little too far. If he would have jump cut a little less far, he might have been in position to shot up that gap. But sometimes relying on your athleticism to get out of plays gets to you. But this could have been a little bit of something more here. We didn't get to see it. Say he goes into the leverage of the defender, gets tackled. Again, too, if he would have cut up that hole, one of these guys could have peeled off right behind him, but he would have been falling forward instead. That could have been a yard or so more of than what he got. But it's just an interesting play there. This was a tough matchup for Barkley. This was a really tough one. This front of the Washington football team, they're eating up the Giants. Game in. They eat up everybody. They're just a tough team to run on. And you can't really fault him for having a big stat line, for not producing the way you wanted him to in fantasy. We knew this task was a coming. I think he had some good moments. And this was just him in Bowser's Castle trying to get to Princess Peach here in a tough situation, high pressure, and not everything worked out. And it wasn't always on him, like you're going to see on this play. The offensive line getting beat like they stole something, not looking good, and nowhere for him to go. That's one of the reasons why we haven't been seeing Saquon be Saquon. And here you see him take the pitch, right? He's getting the pitch. Look at 78. What are you doing, 78? You got to get your block, man. Yeah, I'm going to ride you out right into the pitch. I'm going to just let you go right into it. I'm going to take the contact. Boom. I'm going to ride you out right into the pitch, man. It's like, oops, I fucked up. Bam. Now, if this was the opposite way and you were getting beat like that, you would ride him. And two, when you ride him, you would stay with him a little bit better. He's just getting beat. It's not even a ride. It's like, shoot. I'm just grabbing on for dear life here. 78's done. He gets beat, and then Saquon has nowhere to go. Just gets wrapped up on the tackle. Again, this isn't Saquon's fault at all. He catches the pitch, and he's like, oh, what do I do now? He tries to make a move. He tries to make something happen. Tries to beat him with some leverage. It's just, he just got that pitch, and now he's under fire, and he gets tackled. 78 just got blew up. And this is some of the stuff he's dealing with, trying to make things happen, trying to produce for our fantasy teams, but again, he doesn't have the cast of characters around him to be able to perform, and it's hard for him like that. What we need out of him in fantasy is him to get more usage in the passing game, him to get in some situations, some matchups that allow him to be used more in the passing game, allow him to be able to run a little bit more. We'll see that going forward in the season. It's going to go up from here, really. I look for him to be a good fantasy asset for most of the weeks coming out. Like, there's not going to be as many tough defenses as what he saw on Thursday night. They're going to be able to run the ball a little better. They got to get him incorporated more in the passing game. They need to use him more like a CMC style back. Get him in the flat, get him going, use his athleticism. I'm sure they're thinking about that pitch count they got him on, but really they need to use him more. Saquon is a super athlete. He's got a ton of potential. He's not perfect by any means. We saw that today, and the cast of characters around him isn't perfect, but I do like him. I love his upside. He does a lot of good things. He's one of my favorite backs in the league. I'm going to be drafting him high in fantasy until he's no longer able to be drafted anymore. But I want to thank you for watching the show, sticking with me. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Every subscription matters. You guys fuel me to keep putting out this content. You guys fuel me to keep helping you guys with your fantasy teams. It helps me out as well. But I want to thank you guys for sticking with me watching the shows. And I'll catch you next time.